then come into present moment with your body. So just take a moment as you start to feel yourself arriving on your mat. You may have done 100 things today, worn a bunch of hats. Arriving here, take your time. So you're just rolling your shoulders around. Take a moment to roll out your wrists. I'd like to do a little flamenco hand. Feels good in the wrist. And then begin to settle. Settling in physically. You might close your eyes. You might choose to keep your eyes open. And then connect to your breath. So you're not trying to change your breath right now. Just connect to it, feel it, accept what is. So arriving inside of your skin and then connecting to your breath. You might begin to deepen your breath, consciously stretching out that inhalation and lengthening out your exhalation. Feel if it feels good to move your rib cage as you breathe. For our practice today, I invite you to just meet yourself where you are, moment to moment. So it's an opportunity for you through a sequence of physical shapes to get to know how you are right now. So take another few breaths. And just feel and arrive inside of your skin and into this moment. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. Take your arms out to the side. Let's start with a wrist stretch here. Open up your palms, fingers are pointing up, spread out the fingers in all directions. Take a deep inhale, expand your rib cage, push out through the hands. You might even pull your fingertips a little bit more back towards your head. Then exhale one finger at a time into a fist, roll your knuckles down. Feel that stretch across your wrist. Now turn your palms face them forward, thumb up. Inhale here. Exhale, thumb in first, fingers around the thumb. Light squeeze and tilt your fists out. It's almost like you're pouring 2 pitchers of water, feeling that stretch across that little bone where your thumb meets the wrist. There's a lot of little bones in the wrist, so you want to take care of them. So I call this a waterfall. Take one hand, doesn't matter which hand, the other thumb comes across the back of your hand and you put your fingers across the other fingers and then do a little wave, like a waterfall. So from the side, it looks like this. I'm just turning strangely to the side so that you can see. You don't have to do that unless it feels good. Just creating a little bit of space and then go to the other side when you feel complete. And relax your jaw as well as you're doing this. All right, now interlace your fingers and do a little roll in both directions. And then release that and change the cross of your legs. Bring the other leg in front. Take your left hand straight out to the side for side bend. Inhale your right arm up and exhale, ease into your side stretch. You might find that looking up feels good to you. For me, I like to start my practice with a relaxed neck. So I like to look down or let my head hang to the side. If you ever have a tight neck, it's a good idea to just let your head hang as heavy as possible, feeling for a great stretch in your neck. Inhale, breathe into your right ribs, feel that expanse, feel for stretching, open the right side of your body. When you exhale, draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Keep the extension of your right side. Feel both sit bones rooting into the earth. Inhale again into your right ribs. Exhale, take that top arm, your right arm's gonna reach over to the right and you'll lift up and just melt over to the other side, smooth as you can. Inhale the left arm up, exhale into your side bend, draw your shoulders down. Feel if it feels good to look up or if it would be better to let your head go. You could just let your head hang to the side. Relax your bottom jaw away from your top jaw. Feel your inhalation expand your left side body. Exhale, draw the shoulders down away from your ears. These next two breaths, just feeling how your body is right now. What could be better? Could you adjust in some way? Could you take a deeper breath? It's an exploration, that's up to you. And exhaling your left arm over to the left, let that arm lift you up, and we'll come forward to all fours. So this is that place where you might want to support your wrists. You could do fists, or like I showed earlier, you could have a towel underneath your mat so that you still have a sticky mat and then your wrist is on the edge of the towel so the wrist is higher than the fingers. Or fists can work really well. Spread out the bones of your hands. So challenge yourself to really feel for the pads of each of your fingers pressing into the mat and the first knuckle. Keep all of that. Draw your straight arms back, opening up the chest and the collarbones, moving into your cow position. Let the tail ascend and your open heart starts to move open and look up. And exhaling then, keep pressing into the mat, but feel your fingertips. So you're almost palpating, almost clawing the floor. That'll also help everybody keep the weight out of the wrist. Relax the back of the neck as you round your spine in the Halloween cat. And then keep moving through both of those positions and enjoy the journey. So it's not about getting somewhere ever in your practice. It is about being right here, right now. So fascinating on the ripple of your spine and following your breath. And if you want to take it into some fun movement, maybe wagging your tail would be fun, or you can start to circle your shoulders, your hips. Just letting your body move. You might have some tight spots that you find along the way. Feel free to linger. Come to a neutral spine. So you'll come right back to tabletop. Spread the hand bones. Pads of the fingers pressing in so the weight is spread through your whole hand. Reach your right toes back. Keep the toes on the mat for now. Tuck them under, and we're just going to bounce forward and back, waking up the back of the leg. Feel your calf muscle. Feel the strength of your core. Draw the stem of the navel in and up towards your spine. Draw your front ribs in, and your spine is long. And then bring that knee in and go to the second side. Left leg goes back. All right, come back to all fours. Now, inhaling your right leg back. Maybe you're going to lift it up, and maybe you lift your left arm up. You could do one or both, or keep the toes down. You've got a lot of options. Take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hand and the shin down. Second side. Take those toes back. Maybe you lift up. Maybe you take right arm up and up forward. And exhale, bring it down. Let's add on to that. Inhale, left arm, right leg. And exhale, bring the elbow to the knee. Pull the belly in. If rounding like this is wobbly or doesn't feel good, you hold in this position. If you're enjoying this, keep moving for two more. Curl in, pull the belly in, press firmly through the shin and through the hand. One more time, inhale and exhale. Second side, right arm, left leg, inhale. Exhale, maybe you add the core curl in. Maybe you stay connected to your core with the arms out and the leg long. One more time. And bring the hand and the shin down. This time, step your right foot forward. So we're coming into a lunge. You could pad your left knee, use a blanket, a towel, or fold over left side of your mat. And then grab blocks as needed. Blocks underneath your hands at whatever height. You could use books if you want to. And we're just going to move forward and back. Nice and easy. Remember, we're meeting ourselves where we are. So you arrive here. How does this feel? Dynamic movement, fun? Or maybe you find you want to hold. You could hold in any one of these positions that we're moving through. Reconnect to your breath. Come into a lunge with your right knee right on top of your heel. Tuck your back toes under. Turn on that back leg and reach back through your left thigh. As your left thigh rises up towards the ceiling, let your hips descend towards the mat. Keep your left hand down on a block or on the floor and reach your right arm up. Come into this twist. As you inhale, spread across your chest, your collarbones. Take a very deep inhale. Open up any amount that feels good. You can follow with your gaze or maybe keeping the neck relaxed, looking down. And then bring your hand down and change sides. Step the right foot back, bring your left foot forward, and move forward and back. Check in with your breath. Maybe you notice this side is tighter, maybe it's looser. It's just information. Come into your runner's lunge, tuck your back toes under, straighten the back leg, keep your hips low, feel the extension of that back leg and the length of your spine. Keep the right hand down on the floor or on a block and inhale, open. Keep reaching up, so can you be a little lighter on your right hand and wrist? Inhale, opening up the chest. And exhale, hand down. Step on back and come into downward facing dog. If downward dog doesn't feel like the next pose for you, you could do a half dog or a puppy dog. Walk your hands forward, or downward facing dog or child's pose. If you come into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, you can go ahead and walk it out. Maybe it would be really nice to linger as you bend one knee, linger and stretch the straighter leg. Up to you. If you're in child's pose or a half dog with the knees on the earth, you might just walk your hands over to one side. That would look like this. So you could be in a side stretch here if you wanted to. Maybe that would feel better. For wrist, folks, if downward dog is okay, you're there. If you want to do less pressure on your wrist, this would be your option. Take another 5 or so breaths, feeling and arriving inside of your skin. From wherever you are, if you're in downward facing dog, you might walk your hands back to your feet or forward to the front of the mat. If you are in a child's pose, you might stand up any way that feels good to you. You're going to come into a forward fold. You can be anywhere on your mat, feet hip distance apart, your knees very bent as you need them to be. Hold opposite elbows and let your head hang. Relax your jaw. You might take a little yes, a little no, shaking the head in a way that feels good. Then release your arms and slowly roll your way up to stand. And as you come up, just arriving in mountain pose at the front of your mat. So you may need to walk consciously. That's your journey. Stepping up to the front of your mat to begin your sun salutations. Pause for a moment in mountain, turn your palms, face them forward, relax your shoulder blades down. Engage your legs. I like to micro bend my knees and then lift the kneecaps and then start to grow my legs long as I root down into the earth. Inhale, Utthita Hasta in Tadasana, reach your arms up, maybe look up. Exhale forward into Uttanasana, the forward fold. Your fingertips on the floor, on the shins, on blocks. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold your knees as bent as you need them to be. As we rise, feel free to roll your way up or turn on your powerful core, drawing the belly in as you reach your chest up. Reverse that swan dive. Feel if that feels good on your body. Do what feels good. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, swan dive forward, reaching your chest forward. You can always roll down. You can always keep your knees as bent as you need them to be. Please honor your body. Inhale, halfway lift. Where are those hands? Maybe they're on blocks. Maybe you got a chair in front of you. Exhale, folding in. And you know what to do. We rise back up, root down through the heels, reaching up, opening up. Feel how strong you are. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last time, this time we're going to move on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, 2, halfway lift. And exhale, fold in. As you inhale, you're stepping back and you have options. Plank, you create the danda with your body. That's the plank position. You have hands underneath your shoulders. If that is a lot on your wrists, you can always put your knees down. You can always come to all fours. For the plank to lower down, please have your knees back behind your hips so you're in an inclined plane if your knees are on the floor or the legs are straight. Bend your elbows straight back, keep the chest open and draw your shoulders away from the earth the whole way down. Slow it down till you feel your upper back turn on. If you're on all fours, you could stay there and do cat-cow. That might be best on your wrists and your elbows and shoulders. Bring your hands forward in front of you about 10 inches. Press tops of feet into the mat. Grip that floor. And inhale. I'm going to open up the chest here. And this is a low cobra. Great way to warm up. You get more traction. And it gives the lower back a little space. Feel free to stay with that if you want. Come on down. Hands back underneath the shoulders. And come up to all fours. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, look forward between your hands. You're gonna walk, float, tap dance, get your feet up to the front of your mat, any way that feels fun. And rising up, inhale, root down through the heels, open the chest, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, Surya Namaskar, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Step back to your plank. Feel what's best on your body today. You can stay in cat-cow. You could come to a child's pose. You can put your knees down. You could keep your legs straight. Let's lower. Cobra, Bhujangasana. You can always have your hands a little further forward like I showed last time, or the hands closer in. Exhaling, come on down and back to downward facing dog. Pause here and breathe. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana for 5 breaths. Just feeling yourself arrive in the stillness. If it's better, put your knees down. You could do child's pose. Steady breath. Awesome, everybody. You look so strong. Turn the tops of the thighs ever so slightly towards each other and spin your inner thighs back. You can keep your knees as bent as they need to be. If you ever have a hamstring challenge, your tailbone and your sit bones go up, your heels go up. If there's no stress on the hammies, your heels can go down. You can also keep your knees really bent. All right, from here, let's step into warrior two. Any way you can get your right foot forward. So this could be knees down, have your blocks handy, bring the right foot forward. Virabhadrasana 2. Rising up, standing on your feet. If you're needing a chair, you slide that chair right under your right hip and you're sideways like this on your chair. All right, front heel to center arch of the back foot, reaching your arms out. Take a breath, feel the expansion here across the chest and the heart, and draw your shoulders down. So imagine you have wings like a hawk and you're really spreading those wings out wide. We're going to do a shoulder opening here. Inhale, keep the collarbone spreading wide. Rotate your palms up. Inhale, slight look up if it's comfortable. Then exhaling, rotating the arm bones. Feel the spread of your hawk wings as you rotate forward. A gentle bow. It's not a big bow, just the upper body. We're talking shoulder blades. Now your shoulders, they probably went up by your ears. Draw them down. Let's do that again. Inhale. Shoulder blades are down. Open the chest. Turn the palms up. Look up. Big inhale. Exhale. Rotate the arm bones. Feel the spread of your shoulder blades. Gentle bow forward. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Now do 2 of those, just feeling this movement in your body. Can you get a little more movement around your shoulder blades, your scapula? A big breath in and a big exhalation out. Inhale, come back to Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Just take a moment, feel that. Peaceful warrior. Let your back hand come down the back leg. Reach your right arm up. Lean back any amount that feels good. Include putting your hand up high, right above your butt, right at the top of the hip there, supporting the lower back if you want. Otherwise, hand light somewhere on the leg. Be light. Deepen the bend in your front knee. Inhale, reach those ribs into length. Feel your breath. And feel how you are right here, right now, in this moment. Come on up, inhale. Put your hands down on the mat. Step back to your plank. Maybe the knees are down, maybe you stay on all fours. Otherwise, lower all the way down to the belly, Bhujangasana, cobra pose, hands under the shoulders. Grip the floor, pull backwards, press tops of feet into the mat. Lift chest, open the heart. Maybe you open your throat, maybe you feel like sticking your tongue out or just kind of doing a little head bob, keeping that neck and jaw as relaxed as you can, and in your awareness, come on back down and into downward facing dog. Any way you can get it there, left foot coming forward. Vira 2. We're going to do some shoulder shrugs this time. So in this one, relax your arms in front of your thighs. Your legs are in warrior 2. So front heel to center arch or heel to heel. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Hold that breath. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. Take your shoulders straight back. Now exhale, drag the shoulder blades down. Oh gosh, feel that. So you're just kind of milking your upper back. Feel the back of your skull rising upwards. You want to create more space. Relax your jaw. Inhale into your upper back. Exhale, move your middle border of the shoulder blades together. Like you got a pencil between your shoulder blades. Squeeze and draw down. This time, bend your elbows. Inhale into your upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and your elbow tips like they could meet back there, squeeze together. And then notice if you're doing weird stuff with your head like I do, and like jamming my head forward, you don't have to do that. Squeeze and drop down. Relax your arms. Let's do one more round. Inhale into your upper back. Hold the breath. Shoulders up. Shoulders straight back. Now exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Let your skull bones be light. Create more space. That feels good. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Exhale, squeeze the middle border of the shoulder blades together and draw down. Bend your elbows. Inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and your elbow tips towards each other, squeeze together and draw down. Now float your arms out to the sides, inhale. Feel the energy of your upper back, the back of your heart. Hopefully you're gonna have a little more awareness there. Inhale again. And exhale the hand down the back leg, peaceful warrior, or support with the lower back with the hand up higher. And lengthen. Inhale your way up, put your hands down, step back, and come down onto your belly. So you can come onto your belly any way you want. You can lower down through Chaturanga, Dandasana if you wish. Everybody that can come onto the belly, you're gonna come onto the belly. If you can't come onto your belly, you stay on all fours and do cat-cow. Shalabhasana, arms by your side, palms facing up. Lift the feet, the hands, and the heart, come up. Let's take a few breaths here. Press the pubic bone into the mat, hollow out the area of your belly around the navel, and then reach your chest forward, your toes back, shoulders down. Take another breath here. And inhale and exhale, come on down. Press back to downward facing dog and take a moment. Feel if your shoulders feel different from some of the shoulder things that we're doing today. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, step the right foot forward. You might want to use a yoga strap for this. In Warrior one, you face the you face the short edge of your mat. Take the strap or whatever you got. Could be a sweatshirt or a towel in your left hand. Gomukhasana arms in Virabhadrasana, you're using cow face arms to open up the shoulders this way. So from the back, I'm holding my strap like this, left elbow up, right elbow down. And from the front, I've got feet hip distance apart. And the back foot is on an angle that feels good to you, less or more. And then pause and breathe. If you don't have a strap, you can just grab clothing. Another option would be to take your right hand to the left elbow if that would feel better on your shoulder. All right. So friends, feeling for softening the chest and the front ribs. Big open heart. And can you feel the support from your spine? Allow your spine and the shoulder blades to move inward towards the middle of your body. And then release the arms. Pavrita Parshvakonasana or Pavrita Anjaneyasana, you have a twisting lunge or twisting warrior. Take your left arm, reach it up, inhale. And exhale, left elbow to the right thigh, or left hand down, or take the back heel up, make it a lunge. Do what feels best. You can put your knee down and do this twist. Find a twist that will feel really good to you. Maybe it's a feeling of being grounded. Feel in with your breath. Your twist teaches you to breathe into your back because your belly is pretty occupied. So can you breathe into your back? And we're specifically opening up the area around the front and the back of the heart. So can you breathe in there around the shoulder blades, the chest? And finish, so bring your hands down and you'll make your way down onto your belly again. If you are not on your belly and you're in cat-cow, you can go back to one arm, one leg if you want. If you're on the belly, reach back and clasp your hands. Drag your shoulders down away from your ears Lift the feet, the hands, and the heart. Shalabhasana with the hands clasped. Long back of the neck, drag the shoulders down, reach through your toes and open your chest and your heart. And release down. Press back, downward facing dog. Virabhadrasana 1, step your left foot forward between your hands. Warrior 1. Gomukhasana arms. Your right arm is up. Pat yourself on the back. Grab strap, towel, whatever you got. And then stay connected to your strong, powerful legs. Deepen the bend in your front knee. Press back through the outer edge of your right foot. And then soften. So there's so much strength. Can you soften around the front of your heart? Any amount. So a feeling of resting into the strength and structure, the foundation that you just created from your strong legs and spine. Can you allow your chest and heart to rest? Smooth out your breath. All right, release and twist of your choice. You can pick the back heel up, make it a lunge, or keep the heel down. Reach your right arm up, inhale. Exhaling, elbow to the thigh or hand onto the mat. Twisting to the left. Feel your breath. Move into the area around your heart. And you connect to how you are right now, right here in this moment. How's your heart? Release. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step back. Come down onto your belly. Shalabhasana with the hands clasped again. Interlace your fingers. And just to try something different, if you're interested, pull the wrists away. So often we interlace the fingers and then we jam the wrists towards each other. That's fine. Just for something different, it might be interesting to pull your wrists away. For me, that gives a little bit of space in the upper back and actually in the wrist as well. Reach back through the toes, open the chest, feel your breath in and your breath out. And release. Stack your forearms. Take a resting moment here. So here you are laying on the earth, forehead on your hands. Reconnect to you. Release, hands underneath your shoulders. Come on up and press back to downward facing dog. From here, step your right foot forward and put your left knee down. And I recommend some padding for your left knee. Coming into lunge, you could fold over the left side of your mat. You could put a blanket or a towel underneath. So here are some options for you. Hands on your sacrum. We're coming into a lunge back bend. With the back knee down, it's perfectly okay if you have the flexibility for your knee to go forward at the heel. That's totally fine. It happens when we walk every day, so know that that's okay. Bring your right foot energetically back. And imagine like that your hip socket is going to draw that right thigh bone back into the socket. You're pulling your right foot back and the right hip into the socket so that there's energy through that leg and you're kind of pulling the legs together. Hands on your sacrum. So sacrum is the last bony part of your spine. And as you feel yourself coming into this, you could stay right here. You could choose to clasp your hands at the base of your skull, bring your elbows forward and up. So now you're shifting your gaze up, but feel that your thumbs are right there at the base of your skull and your hands are cradling your head. Can you let your head be held? Strong, powerful legs. Pull the front heel back. Draw that right thigh bone into the hip socket. Open your chest and your heart. Receive your own touch. Holding your head. Pause, feel, and breathe. And then easing out of that. Option 2, lift your left foot and bring the heel into the butt. This could be not so great on your knees. If that is the case and you would like a quad stretch, you get to stand, steady yourself with a wall or a chair, and maybe you take this stretch here. If that sounds like a really nice idea on your body, if you're like, nah, no thanks, here you are, here, and you can get a side bend. Walk your left hand forward and out, and you're gonna lounge forward. So one of these positions will be your jam, I hope. And if not, something else that you choose. All right, releasing. This time, we're just going to step the right foot back and bring your left foot forward. All right. So you have options. Again, patting your right knee, hands on the lower back. They're on your sacrum, really. That's the last bony part of your spine, right beneath the lumbar spine. And your hands can stay there, maybe fists or thumbs. And then energize your legs. Pull your front heel back towards the back of the mat. Draw your left thigh bone into the hip socket. Cradle your head if you choose to. Find to keep your hands on the lower back. If you want, you're holding your head and holding your head like it really is this treasured part of you and the deep, vast mystery. And you cradle your head with that kind of reverence. And then easing out of that, take your time so you're not popping out of positions now that we're moving towards the end of our practice. Really focusing on your breath. Maybe you bring your right heel into the butt. Maybe that's not great for you. You want to stand and do it, or you just don't feel like it. Lounge lunge, or your body doesn't feel like it. Pick one. They're all great. I want to do all of them. Wherever you are, wrap up and come onto your knees. Ustrasana, camel pose. If you're going to pad your knees for Ustrasana, it's good to have your whole base on one level plane if you can. So I'm on my entire blanket. Just consider that this is the foundation and you want that foundation really strongly pressing into the floor. Knees are hip distance apart. I'll show you from both angles. Thumbs on the sacrum or fists. I like fists. And you're using your fist to draw the buttocks flesh down. You're also using your butt muscles, so you can go ahead and use those. And you can add a block between your thighs. That'll help you engage more of your legs. Press the shins into the mat. Lift the rib cage. Open the chest. Open the heart. And you get to arc back. Keep your hands on your lower back. From the front, looks like this. My knees are hip distance apart. Hands on the back. Your 5 breath count, Ustrasana, camel pose, press tops of feet into the mat, the whole shin into the mat, and lift your chest. So it's not about going back, growing upward, lifting your chest and your heart. Take a moment, come out of it gently. If you have a block handy, maybe you sit back on your block, take a moment. Here, if you want to be kneeling, kneel, or hands down, you could come to all fours. Just taking a moment and come back inward. Feel the effect of this practice. So Ustrasana, camel pose, can be a very challenging pose for all of us. If you would like to do that pose again, awesome, we're gonna do it again. If you prefer to turn around and lay down in bridge, you do that, all right? It's the same shape, just the orientation to gravity makes this pose very different. So feel the different energy of it. So coming back onto your shins, so we're laying on your back, knees are bent, soles of feet in the mat. Energetically squeeze the legs together, push down into the shins. If you're in bridge, push down through your feet. Lift the chest, opening up. And if it feels good, you can go back gently. If you can bring your hands to your heels easily, it's not like a heave-ho, throwing yourself to one side and the other, and you can still breathe, then camel pose is for you with the hands on the heels. If it's challenging and you stop breathing and it hurts, it's not your pose. So finish up wherever you are. And let's meet on the back in constructive rest. So if you are in bridge, you're already there. So come on down. Lay down on your back, constructive rest. Your feet are wide, almost as wide as the mat, and you allow your knees to fall in. Let's take another moment of feeling how we are right now. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. You can close your eyes or not, and breathe. All right. One more bridge. If you did a bridge before, this might be your first bridge of the day. Have your heels underneath your knees and your feet hip distance apart as best as you can. Feel it, your feet parallel. Push down into your whole foot, each foot. Lift your hips up, send the bottom of the butt towards the knees. And you can walk your arms underneath you gently, walking the shoulders underneath. Just keep the back of the neck long. And then you can interlace your fingers and press down into the mat. Inhale, inflate your collarbones. Uppermost reaches of your lungs go underneath the collarbones, lifting the chest. Slow, steady breath. Become more aware of your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Push down into the ball of the big toe, the ball of the pinky toe, and the inner and the outer heel. Tilt your pelvis any amount. Get some space in your lower back. If you just did camel, you might remember how strongly your shins were pressing into the earth. Send your thigh bones forward, push down into your feet. Everybody take another full 3 to 5 breaths here. And you come down when you want to come down, back into constructive rest. And everybody come down, constructive rest. Feet wide. Draw your knees in. One hand on heart, hand on belly, breathe. We'll take a back traction moment while we're here. So separate your knees, bring the soles of the feet closer together so they're, again, hip distance apart. You might line up your heels with your sit bones. In your mind's eye, feel that alignment. Your hands on the tops of your thighs, so one hand on each thigh, and just press your thighs straight away from you. And you feel your lower back. So naturally your lower back is probably going to curve. If you flatten it, does it feel better? So take a little pelvic tilt here and explore what feels better to you and do that in this back traction. So you're pressing the thighs away, breathing into your back. And release. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh, supine pigeon. You can reach around, you might use your yoga strap around everything, loop the strap around the front of the shin or hold on to the back of the thigh or the shin. Do what feels good, flex your feet. And if your right elbow reaches your right thigh, you might gently press the right thigh away. Very deep breaths. Release and change sides. Left ankle over the right thigh. You can use your strap, you can hug around the back of the thigh or the shin, do what feels good on your body. And flex your feet, a left elbow in left thigh, you can press that thigh going away. Slow and steady breath now, feeling how you are right now. And release. Bring the knees together and hug your knees in. And just take a moment here. Put the hands onto the tops of your knees together, and take a little stir of your knees. Both knees moving together in unison, big or little circles in both directions. Feel how that massages your sacrum. From here, with your thighs right in line with your hips, your arms out. You can choose arms out in a T or arms in cactus, and let your knees go to the left. And you can shift your gaze to the right. And you can adjust as needed. Maybe your hips need to move. Maybe you need a block between your knees or your block under or a pillow around there. And you can also straighten your top leg forward. Take another breath into this shape here for you. Reconnecting to the earth. And reconnecting to your new body. And the alchemy of your practice. To come back to center, lift your right knee up, then let the left leg follow. And then you probably have to shift your hips a little bit to the left. And then the knees can go to the right and your arms can be out in whatever position feels good to you, and you might shift your gaze to the left. You can always straighten your top leg or straighten both legs. You can play with that. You can put a block underneath. And if it feels weird to have the leg dangling, then I suggest getting a pillow or a bolster between the legs. If it ever feels like it's pulling on your hip, put a bolster or a pillow between the thighs. How's your breath now? All right, friends, make your way back onto your back. Your choice. So if happy baby sounds like a really fun position and your body loves it, do that. Otherwise, check this out. Cross your ankles, hold on to your feet, and just bring the feet down any amount that feels good. And let the outside edges of your hips be heavy and move towards the earth. In my body, this feels very grounding to my sacrum and hips, my whole SI joint, really. So do what feels good to you. And if you're in the cross-legged position, you have to remember which leg is on top, because at this point, you might have yoga brain and you might not know which leg is on top. Just feel, and then we're going to change it. Other leg's going to cross. And then same thing on this side. Deepen your breath and allow yourself to arrive. From there, your choice for Shavasana for rest. You could put legs up the wall. You could just lay back. You could have some other shape that you want to be in. You could be on your side. You could curl. Just coming to stillness and taking this time for you to rest. I invite you to stay just as you are. This is a poem by Mary Oliver called The Journey. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt that old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, and though their melancholy was terrible, it was already late enough, and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voice behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life that you could save. Thank you all so much for going on this journey with me. If you feel called to come to a seat, you make your way there with no rush. That's The Journey by Mary Oliver, one of my favorites. When we come together, friends, I invite you to put your hands at your heart in a way that feels authentic to you. And we take a moment to recognize these teachings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti means peace. Peace within, peace in our relations, and peace in the world. May you be well, my friends. Thank you so much for coming to class today.